Ever wondered why the smallest things sometimes shake you to your core? A careless remark, a sudden change, or even the relentless buzz of negativity, it all piles up and chips away at your calm. It's like your peace is a delicate glass, and every little disturbance threatens to crack it. But what if you could be like a steady flame, flickering but never extinguished, no matter how fierce the wind? What if you could cultivate a quiet fortress inside yourself where no external noise could penetrate? That's the power of staying unbothered. Stay with me, because mastering this isn't about ignoring life or pretending everything is fine. It's about rising above the chaos by shifting your focus. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They taught that the only things truly within our control are our thoughts and reactions. Everything else, people's opinions, the outcomes of events, unexpected challenges, lies beyond our grasp. You can't control the world, but you can master how you engage with it. This is the unshakable foundation of the stay unbothered mindset. Imagine walking through a storm with an umbrella that never turns inside out. That umbrella is your mindset, your mental shield. When a harsh word comes your way or circumstances turn unfavorable, you don't crumble. Instead, you acknowledge the storm without letting it dictate your inner weather. This doesn't mean you suppress emotions or become indifferent. On the contrary, it means you cultivate emotional sovereignty, a deliberate practice of governing your feelings rather than being governed by them. Think about it, how often do you find yourself reacting defensively, immediately trying to fix, justify, or explain, simply because you feel shaken? That's a form of surrender, giving away your power to external triggers. But when you stay unbothered, you reclaim that power. You choose silence over reaction, calm over chaos. You become a person who holds space for yourself, no matter what's swirling around you. And here's the subtle magic: by not reacting, you gain more confidence and influence than any defensive outburst could ever earn you. Let's pause for a moment. Picture a situation where criticism lands on you like a sharp arrow. Your first instinct might be to dodge, block, or counterattack. But what if instead, you just stood firm, unaffected? Not numb or cold, but steady, like a mountain that acknowledges the wind but doesn't sway. This steadiness is not weakness, it's strength. It signals to others that you are grounded, that your peace is not up for negotiation. And this kind of presence commands respect effortlessly. Now, you might wonder, is this even possible in today's fast-paced, reactive world? The answer is yes. But it requires practice, and more importantly, a mindset shift. The stay unbothered mindset is not something you stumble upon overnight, it's a deliberate choice you make every day. It's about training your mind to focus on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. Here's a critical insight: disturbances only have the power you give them. If you allow yourself to be tossed around by every criticism, every setback, you're handing over your peace on a silver platter. But if you see these as external noise, like background static, you can tune them out. This doesn't mean you ignore constructive feedback, rather, you learn to discern what deserves your attention and what is just noise designed to distract or provoke. Let's dig deeper into that. The stay unbothered mindset involves a kind of emotional sovereignty that many overlook. Sovereignty means self-rule. You are the ruler of your inner kingdom. External events are like visitors, some bring gifts, some bring trouble, but none get to dictate the laws of your land. When you internalize this, you realize that being unbothered is not about being cold or disconnected. It's about being deeply connected to your own values and truths, so much so that other voices lose their power to unsettle you. Imagine your mind as a calm lake. When a stone is thrown in, ripples appear, but the lake remains fundamentally still. Your thoughts and reactions are those ripples. You can acknowledge them without letting them flood the entire lake. This image is powerful because it reminds you that disturbance is natural, but overwhelm is optional. You control how big the ripples get. Now, staying unbothered is also about recognizing that sometimes, your peace will be tested. Life is unpredictable. People will say things that sting, situations will go awry. The question is not whether these things happen, but how you respond. Do you let them knock you off balance, or do you stand firm, like a tree whose roots grow deeper with every windstorm? This steadiness doesn't come from avoiding challenges but from embracing them as opportunities to strengthen your inner calm. Think of each test as a workout for your emotional muscles. The more you practice staying calm under pressure, the stronger your resilience becomes. And resilience is the bedrock of an unshakable foundation. Stay with me here. The art of staying unbothered is also about clarity, clarity of purpose, clarity of values, and clarity of what is truly within your control. When you focus on your own thoughts and reactions, you free yourself from the exhausting trap of trying to control everything else. This liberation brings peace. It's like releasing the weight of a heavy backpack you've been carrying without realizing it. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose someone criticizes your work unfairly. The initial surge of emotion is natural: frustration, anger, maybe even hurt. But the stay unbothered mindset asks you to pause, to step back, and ask, is this criticism valid and useful, or is it just noise? If it's valid, you use it to improve. If it's noise, you let it go without letting it disturb your inner peace. This is not denial, it's discernment. Pause and reflect on your own life. How often have you let minor irritations spoil your day? How often have you reacted when you could have responded with calm? This awareness is the first step toward change. Remember, you can't control what happens, but you can control how you react. Another subtle but powerful aspect of this mindset is confidence. When you stay unbothered, you radiate a quiet assurance that doesn't need to shout. People sense it. It's magnetic. You become someone who others naturally turn to for steadiness because you're not easily unsettled by the world's ups and downs. This confidence is not arrogance but a calm knowing that your peace is your power. At this point, you might ask, how do I begin to cultivate this mindset? The answer starts with awareness and intention. Begin by noticing when you get rattled. Instead of immediately reacting, pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself that your thoughts and reactions are within your control. This simple pause is the doorway to emotional sovereignty. In these moments, practice shifting your focus inward rather than outward. Ask yourself, what am I choosing to focus on right now? Is this within my control? When you train your mind to answer these questions honestly, you build the habit of staying unbothered. It's like training a muscle: the more you do it, the stronger it gets. Stay with me as we continue to explore this journey. The power of staying unbothered is not just a philosophy, it's a practical way to reclaim your peace and power in a noisy, unpredictable world. It's the difference between being tossed by waves and being the calm harbor where the waves break harmlessly. To sum up this first step, the stay unbothered mindset asks you to shift your focus inward, to recognize what you can control, your thoughts and reactions, and to cultivate emotional sovereignty. It's about seeing disturbances as external noise and choosing not to let them unsettle your inner peace. This deliberate practice builds confidence and influence without the need for defensive reactions. Remember, true power lies not in controlling the world but in mastering your response to it. Your calm is your fortress. Your silence, your strength. This foundation will serve you as we continue to build upon it in the next lessons. Stay unbothered, and the world will no longer have the power to shake you. Let's continue this journey by diving into a powerful truth: emotional independence is not about shutting down your feelings or becoming detached from life. Far from it. It's about mastering your emotions so they no longer run the show or disrupt your peace. Have you ever noticed how sometimes your feelings seem to have a mind of their own, pulling you this way and that, dragging you into reactions you later regret? That's exactly what emotional independence helps you change. Instead of being a passenger tossed by every wave, you become the captain steering your ship with intention. Stay with me here, because this is a key shift. Emotional independence means you acknowledge your feelings, they are real and valid, but you don't let them dictate your behavior. You learn to observe them, understand their roots, and decide how to respond. It's not about suppressing anger, sadness, or frustration, it's about not letting those emotions hijack your peace or lead you into impulsive reactions. Imagine having a calm observer inside you who can witness the storm without being swept away by it. That observer is your growing emotional mastery. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice and, importantly, selective attention, the art of choosing where to direct your mental energy. Think about your mind as a spotlight on a stage. What you shine that light on becomes your reality. If you focus on every slight, every criticism, every petty annoyance, your mind becomes a chaotic theater of distractions. But if you train yourself to focus on what truly matters, your growth, your values, your goals, then everything else fades into the background. Pause for a moment and reflect. How often have you wasted energy on trivial things that don't serve you? How many times have you let petty criticisms or meaningless gossip disturb your calm? This is the noise that emotional independence helps you tune out. It's a discipline of attention, like a gardener pruning away the weeds so the flowers can bloom. When you prune your attention carefully, you conserve energy, sharpen your focus, and cultivate a stronger sense of self-respect. Selective attention is a superpower because it aligns your mental energy with your highest priorities. When you choose to engage only with meaningful feedback, constructive, growth-oriented insights, you open the door to improvement without the chaos of unnecessary disturbance. On the other hand, when you recognize criticism that is trivial, baseless, or meant to provoke, you simply let it pass like water off a duck's back. This discernment is crucial in maintaining your inner sanctuary. Imagine you're at a crowded party, and everyone is shouting different opinions, some helpful, some hurtful. You don't have to listen to every voice. You choose which voices to hear and which to ignore. This choice is your power. By directing your attention intentionally, you protect your emotional independence and keep your mind clear and focused. Let's explore how this selective attention works in practice. When you receive feedback, pause and ask yourself, is this feedback aligned with my values and goals? Does it help me grow, or is it just noise? If it's the former, embrace it with openness and gratitude. If it's the latter, release it without judgment or resistance. This practice trains your mind to differentiate between what is worthy of your energy and what is not. Here's an important reminder: emotional independence does not mean isolation. It doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others or becoming indifferent to their feelings. Instead, it means creating healthy boundaries so that you're not overly influenced by the emotional tides of those around you. Boundaries protect your peace and allow you to engage with others from a place of strength rather than vulnerability. Stay with me as we consider the impact of this mindset. When you cultivate emotional independence and practice selective attention, you begin to experience mental clarity. Your thoughts become less cluttered, your decisions more intentional. You learn to respect yourself because you no longer give away your power to external validation or petty disturbances. This self-respect is the foundation of true confidence. Now, let's talk about the subtle art of detachment, not in the sense of apathy or disconnection, but as a mindful distance from distractions that don't serve you. Detachment allows you to engage fully with life's challenges while maintaining your center. It's like being a skilled surfer who rides the waves without being submerged by them. You acknowledge the presence of disturbances, but you don't let them pull you under. This kind of detachment is a superpower in a world that constantly bombards us with information, opinions, and emotional triggers. Without it, your mind becomes a battlefield where every slight feels like a personal attack. With it, you create a mental sanctuary where you can think clearly, act wisely, and maintain your peace. Pause again and reflect: are you reacting to every emotional trigger, or are you choosing which ones deserve your attention? This awareness is the gateway to emotional sovereignty. By practicing selective attention and mindful detachment, you reclaim your mental space and guard your inner calm. Let's also consider how this mindset improves your relationships and interactions with others. When you're emotionally independent, you're less likely to be swayed by others' moods or opinions. You engage with people from a place of calm and confidence, which naturally draws respect and deeper connection. People sense your steadiness and are more inclined to listen and value your presence. Moreover, emotional independence frees you from the exhausting cycle of seeking external validation. When your sense of self-worth isn't tied to others' approval, you become more authentic and grounded. You can express yourself honestly without fear of rejection or criticism, because your peace doesn't depend on their reactions. This freedom is empowering and transformative. Imagine living each day unburdened by the need to prove yourself or defend your choices. Instead, you move through life guided by your own compass, confident in your values and decisions. This is the essence of emotional independence. Now, how do you cultivate this in practical terms? Start by observing your emotional responses without judgment. When a strong feeling arises, don't immediately act on it. Instead, pause and ask, what is this emotion telling me? Is it aligned with my values? Does it require action or is it just noise? This pause creates space for wise choice rather than reactive behavior. Next, practice focusing your attention intentionally. Notice where your mind wanders during the day. Are you dwelling on petty annoyances or meaningful goals? Gently redirect your focus to what serves your growth and peace. Over time, this strengthens your ability to choose where your mental energy goes. Finally, set healthy boundaries. This might mean limiting exposure to negative influences, saying no to unnecessary drama, or simply protecting your time and energy. Boundaries are not walls but gates you control. They allow you to engage with life fully while preserving your emotional independence. Stay with me as we continue to build this unshakable foundation. Emotional independence and selective attention are not just concepts, they are practical skills you develop with intention. They transform your inner world, making you less vulnerable to disturbance and more aligned with your true self. Remember, the power of staying unbothered grows when you master your emotions and choose your focus wisely. This is your path to mental clarity, self-respect, and quiet confidence. The next step will deepen this journey even further. For now, embrace the strength in your calm, and the freedom in your focus. And from here we move to a deeper layer of strength, the steadfastness that carries you through pressure and the quiet power it builds within. Have you ever noticed how some people seem unshaken no matter what life throws at them? They don't react impulsively or get swept away by drama. Instead, they hold a steady course, like a ship cutting through rough seas with unwavering determination. This steadfastness is not a trait you're born with, it's a discipline you cultivate, a mental muscle you strengthen over time. Stay with me, because this is where the quiet strength emerges, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself loudly. It's the power of acting with purpose and restraint, rather than reacting out of impulse or emotion. When you embody this quiet strength, your calm demeanor becomes your most persuasive statement. People notice it. They feel it. It commands respect naturally, without a single word needing to be spoken. Let's explore what it means to practice steadfastness under pressure. Life inevitably presents obstacles, unexpected challenges, setbacks, moments of frustration. Instead of seeing these as threats to your peace, reframe them as opportunities. Opportunities to reinforce your discipline, your patience, and your mental fortitude. Each test is a chance to prove to yourself that your inner calm is stronger than any external storm. Imagine the difference between a tree that bends and breaks in the wind, and a tree that bends but stands firm, roots deep in the earth. Your steadfastness is like those roots. It doesn't mean being rigid or unyielding, it means being flexible but grounded, responsive but composed. This balance is what makes your strength sustainable and genuine. Now, consider how quiet strength influences your interactions with the world. When you respond with calm rather than agitation, you create a space where thoughtful dialogue can happen. This creates trust and influence far beyond what any defensive or reactive stance could achieve. People naturally gravitate toward those who exhibit this kind of composed presence. It's magnetic because it signals control, confidence, and emotional maturity. Pause for a moment and think about your own reactions during stressful times. Do you find yourself reacting quickly, perhaps regretfully? Or do you hold space for a pause, take a breath, and choose your response? This pause is a powerful tool, it's the gateway to steadfastness. It allows you to respond with intention rather than reaction. Let's delve into the role silence plays in all this. Silence is often underestimated as a power move. In reality, it's one of the strongest expressions of calm and control. When you choose silence over impulsive speech, you preserve your energy and maintain your composure. Silence can disarm conflict, diffuse tension, and communicate confidence without words. It's like a quiet flame that never burns out, steady and sure. Embracing silence also means resisting the urge to explain, justify, or defend yourself unnecessarily. When you stay unbothered, you understand that your peace does not require validation from others. You don't need to prove your worth or defend your choices at every turn. This restraint is a sign of mastery. It shows that you are in control of your narrative, not at the mercy of others' opinions. Stay with me as we explore how you can cultivate this steadfastness. It begins with awareness, recognizing moments when your composure is tested. Instead of trying to suppress your feelings, acknowledge them and then decide not to let them dictate your actions. This conscious choice builds your emotional discipline over time. Next, practice patience. Understand that strength often reveals itself in what you choose not to do as much as in what you do. Waiting calmly, listening deeply, and responding thoughtfully are all acts of quiet strength. They demonstrate that you're not rushed or pressured by external forces. Steadfastness also thrives on consistency. It's the daily practice of showing up with the same calm and purpose, regardless of circumstances. This consistency builds trust in yourself and in others. It's what transforms fleeting moments of composure into a stable, reliable presence. Let's reflect on how this steady approach influences your life's trajectory. When you respond to challenges with calm and persistence, you create momentum toward your goals. Obstacles become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. This mindset empowers intentional living, a life where you are the author, not a victim of circumstances. Now, consider the impact of cultivating this quiet strength on your inner world. It brings a sense of peace that is deep and enduring. You stop being at war with yourself or your environment. Instead, you move through life with a sense of grace and confidence that is evident to all around you. This mastery of staying unbothered through silence and composure is not about denying your emotions or avoiding conflict. It's about choosing your battles wisely and maintaining your center amid the noise. It's about embodying a presence that says, I am grounded. I am in control. I am unshaken. Pause here and visualize yourself in a difficult situation. Instead of reacting impulsively, you breathe deeply, hold your ground, and respond with calm clarity. Notice how this changes the dynamic. You feel stronger, more in control. Those around you respond differently too. There's respect, perhaps even admiration. This is the power of steadfastness and quiet strength. It transforms not just how you feel inside but how you move through the world. It allows you to live intentionally, to influence without aggression, and to maintain your peace regardless of external pressures. Stay with me as we continue to explore this path. The art of staying unbothered is a lifelong practice, built on these principles of emotional sovereignty, selective attention, and now, steadfastness with quiet strength. Each layer deepens your mastery and brings you closer to that unshakable foundation of inner calm. Remember, true power is not in loud declarations or frantic reactions. It is in the steady flame that burns calmly, unwavering, through every storm. Your quiet strength is your greatest asset. Nurture it, and you will find that respect, confidence, and peace naturally follow.